Hello.
Hi.
It's a brand new week.
It is Monday.
Are you ready for it?
It is Monday that I usually don't ever see you people because I have my nose in a computer for work.
Well,
But-
and now you have your nose in a computer
For work.
for work. In case we see the comments starting right now because everything's a little late.
Yeah.
I see Apple's here and Vegan Knowledge JJ's here. So we're so excited. So this is like a brand new week for you. So this is your very first week. Oh, Jeremy's here. Hi, meeting at. I'm not sure what you mean. Jeremy's a friend of ours. And Penny says she loves your picture that was on there.
Hi.
Yeah.
That was my headshots from eCam last year. We'll probably get some new ones this year.
Yeah. We dressed up, well, I didn't dress up like a grown-up. I wore a Halloween sweater. Let's be real. Right? But that was grown up for me.
Neither one of us, I just wore my black V-neck t-shirt, which is like my standard apparel. So, whatever.
So
Let's talk about stress.
let's also, so one of the reasons we wanted to do this is I wanted to go ahead and get Cheryl just jumped up in here. And one of the things I said to you this morning, so if anybody's out there and they're like, I want to start something new, but I'm really scared, if that be a new diet, a new exercise regime, or just doing something new. Because I've been doing cookbooks and stuff like that since 2010. So for 14 years, I just jump off the cliff, knit my parachute on the way down.
She does.
And
it scares me. It's always scared me. I've been risk averse my whole entire life. So this is really hard. And there's lots of things that we're still trying to figure out, but
well, we haven't told them all the things, so we have to make sure that everything. The one thing Cheryl does, she's like very internal diet. It's okay, you can be.
I might get a little emotional, so I just want to warn everybody. Like, I could get a little emotional in this.
So I will try and give you the little bit of things. So Cheryl was laid off last week on Thursday. And we had already planned, because she does stuff in the business, in our business already, but she's not playing a full-time kind of role before. And we were thinking in maybe a couple of years that would happen.
Yeah.
And so with the
when
layoff,
I got a little closer to retirement age and we took care of some things first and got some things in place, then we would go ahead and I would start transitioning that way.
We're just knitting now.
We are knitting. We are knitting.
and we'll be fine. The parachute will be knitted and I don't know, encased in some sort of plastic before we land. But so she's becoming part. She has always been part of the business, but she's going to be more front facing as well as having to work as hard on the business as I do. I
literally have had about this much time to process everything. I got out of bed, and she knows me, and she knows the best way to keep me from spiraling is to keep me busy. And so I woke up Friday morning to a list.
It was a tiny list.
Maybe a smaller list.
Things.
But it was a list.
It was two things.
And she was like, okay, let's go upstairs and turn on the computer because I want to show you how to do some things that would really, really help me. And the fact that she said that these would really, really help her kicked me out of where I was and into, let me help you,
Yeah. And here's the thing, because she does the same thing when I'm having an issue. So that's kind of what a good partnership, or how I feel a good partnership works. So there have been times that, like during the pandemic, I was very, very depressed, couldn't do anything.
Yeah, there were months.
Yeah, there were a couple of months that were bad. And Cheryl took care of things like that. I'm really good with kind of seeing what's going on and going, okay, so it's not that she can't take a break, but if she's sitting there trying to decide, and I think this is a problem of all of us. We see a problem or we see something we don't like and we're trying to fill in all those facts without facts. So we're going, I bet, ... She probably did, ... And when you're dealing with other people, you can't always know their motives. Like, it's definitely part of my neurospicy that I want to know everything about everyone. I don't want it for gossip. I want it for my own personal encyclopedia of Kathy. And so I have to work really hard to go, it's okay that I don't understand. It's okay. And until it's very hard for me.
And just expressing their feelings about that. And one of the things that I have found out of this, and this is where I'm probably going to get really emotional, is the fact that my coworkers, all the work, the extra work I did, the nights, the weekends, the working over vacations, my coworkers saw that and they recognized that. And they have been very, very supportive and asking if they can give me recommendations and just reaching out to check on me to make sure I'm just okay.
Yeah, they've been really, really good. I think one of the hard parts, and I know I told you guys to put in your goals and stuff, and we are going to get to those as well. I just want to get all this out in the open. So if you guys have some questions or, and you can see that Cheryl is kind of getting over from, like, she got laid off. She did not get fired. I don't like working for big companies.
She is terrible at it.
Because I don't like arbitrary rules. So, like, the fact that we could wear jeans on Friday where I worked last, I'm like, what does that mean? Or things like that. I don't like arbitrary rules. If you don't give me a dress code, I will dress decent. If you give me a dress code, I'm going to push it to an inch of its life.
It's true.
And so I'm that way. So let's go and talk about some of the comments, and then that may bring up some more conversation. Sure. Mary says, your awareness of yourselves and each other is admirable. Fantastic that you have each other as warm and understanding support. Yeah,
exactly.
Like
y'all, she was so good.
And this thing, so when she went downstairs, I did my normal thing, and we've talked about this before, because I'm like, if you lose your job, here are the things that can happen. Here are the ways that you can work with me. Here's what we have in place. And we've been putting things in place for when you want to leave.
Right.
So I think that that's very helpful too. And Vegan Knowledge said my current job just did that. Did you get laid off, or just other people got laid off, JJ? And Lori says, Cheryl, it's their loss. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Diana says, new doors to open and explore. Okay. JJ was not in this particular layoffs. Oh, good.
I was just invested. My everything, my whole being was making sure that our product was good. And now I'm just going to take that same kind of feeling, that same kind of motivation, and I'm going to turn that to this and all of you.
Right? Because the thing is she is really good at taking care of things. She really, all the things that you talked about with customer service, the same things that you're putting forward in coaching and helping people and build the community up. Right. Linda says, losing something that you've made such an investment in is a loss, and there will be a grieving process, and I absolutely agree. Yeah. Corporate America is heartless. Word to the wise, right? It's just, it's kind of sad, but it seems to be more and more like that. Yeah, and Kat saying, companies think no one is indispensable. Yeah. TS was saying it was a gut punch.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mary Jean says there are good companies and bad companies. I've been an employee at both, and an employer that respected our employees. And I think it's hard, right? Oh, I like this. Apple says, yes, we're all interconnected. Individualism is an illusion. We heal together. And there's a lot to be said, just from my own background and my own neurosis trauma stuff, is that a lot of times when I'm really hurt or really sad, I want to just be all alone. It's not, there's a difference in that when I want to cocoon and heal. So there's some shame involved in it. I think you have some undeserved shame about this, because she was not fired, she was laid off, but it's very hard.
But all day Thursday, like, I felt like I was an embarrassment. I didn't want to tell my parents.
Yeah.
Because I was embarrassed. Like how could this happen? Like, what did I do wrong, kind of thing. And it was really, she talked me through a lot of this, and I'm very grateful.
Oh, of course. Well, the thing is there's going to come a time that's going to switch, and it has switched before.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What's usually good, even in a friendship, is like usually one person needs to help the other. So every once in a while you end up both really excited, both really down. But usually it's more of a seesaw thing. And you've done that for me several times, you know, because I think that's just something we all have to go through. We all have emotions, and people are not always nice.
So I kept myself busy all weekend. She had class on Saturday, and because we have amazing friends, I had friends calling and asking me to come help them with projects.
She got all the husbands calling for husband project help.
So I helped with some projects. And I really appreciated that and that time to vent with them. And then Sunday was Veg Fest, and so we went, spent all day at Veg Fest. Was a great Veg Fest put on by Helene and Veg Fest Expos. She did a great job, and so being able to just kind of go keep myself busy and do all those things. While I was not perfect in the food categories, because I was eating my feelings a little bit, which one does when they are stressed out. It's now Monday, and it's time to get back on track. It's time to take this next step into this next chapter of my life, this next step into my health journey. And I am happy to just... a lot of you have been along with us on this for the long haul, and I'm ready to step it up and bring all of you along with me on my journey. And
so we'll be doing this regularly. There may be some other things we're going to do, some programs. I'm giving her some space, so you can see this. I'm letting her wait on private coaching for a little longer.
Yeah, I don't feel mentally ready for that yet.
But it's going to.
Eventually.
So Bob is saying, they say things happen for a reason. Maybe this will give you more of an opportunity to concentrate more on yourself and your health.
Definitely.
And with our jobs, with our business, that is the focus.
Yes.
And JJ says, Cheryl, I'm so sorry you feel hurt. The universe may have placed you in the right place with both of your work ethics.
Thank you.
The two of you are unstoppable. Thank you so much. And Mary Jean says, I also got booted out of a job, really blindsided because the boss's wife did not like me, and she didn't even work there.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just really kind of crazy. And Jeremy, who's our friend, says, I think that's to me personally. We know you're still going to work 16 hours a day. Anyhow, I do work a lot. There might be new projects that I can pull in because I do love a good neurospicy project. I like them to be, kind of compact. Whereas the rest of the world want to work on those for a year or two. And I'm like, no, just give me 40 days. I can do this in 40 days.
Yeah. So basically this is early retirement, right? And I should take advantage of early retirement, and I am going to. And I started thinking about all the things that meant for me today. Here comes my baby.
Okay, don't step on that.
I started thinking about all the things that means for me today. Please do not put your butt to the camera.
He's going to do what he does. It's okay. People are used to cats.
But, today is the first day of the rest of my life, the rest of my new journey of me. I will no longer have to ask for permission to be able to go somewhere and do something that would require me to take vacation time. I don't have vacation time limitations. I don't have limitations of having to stay within a certain amount of time from the office. All these things have been lifted off of me, and where I felt
horrible about it over the weekend. Today I woke up and realized I have freedom now. Mm-hmm. I have freedom. I don't have to miss taking my morning walk. I can get up and go for a walk. And if I have to wait a little bit because it's raining, I can do it later. I don't have to worry that I'm going to miss it altogether because I'm in meetings all day.
Right.
I mean, I have this flexibility now that I haven't had probably ever.
I don't think you ever have.
And so it's interesting, and whereas I am incredibly sad about the change, I'm also very excited for what it's going to mean for my health and my sanity. Don't you think? Is it going to be sanity?
And Linda says, one door closes, another opens, even if you are rudely pushed
Yes.
through it. And I think that kind of sums it up perfectly for what's going on. And Joanne says, Cheryl, you've eased into our life, and I, for one, love that you're here, which is really awesome. I'm going to skip some of these because I think I'm probably way behind.
Yeah.
Hi, Tanya. It's good to see you. Mary Jean just patted you on the shoulder. Nancy says, I'm so sorry. However, this is going to motivate you into something wonderful.
And Lisa just remembered that you are part of that support system for me, and I appreciate you and in everything that you do and that we do as a group.
Make sure to read the comments with the names for people who are visually impaired.
I said Lisa.
Yeah, but you say, I'm so glad you have a great support system.
Oh, Lisa
Sorry.
said, I'm
Little
so glad
training
you have
moment.
such a great support system, Cheryl. And what
Yeah.
I was saying was that Lisa is a huge part of that support system for me.
Exactly. All right, we're glad you're here too, Lissa.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bike week here, and I keep having like motorcycle.
Yeah.
And Kitty Mommy says, hello, sorry to hear about your job loss. I've been at the same job for over 20 years, and I understand what you mean about your job becoming your identity. And I think there is that if you do it for so long. Before I was working in corporate things, I was a musician. And even now, so many of my jobs have been where my product, what I do or what I write or what I play. So it's interesting. Oh, Tanya, Cheryl was laid off last week from her job, and so now she's going to be working with me. So yay. And she just got her coaching certification from Food Revolution. So this Monday, Motivate Your Monday is going to be a new part of our offerings.
Yes.
I don't know what to call it, so I just said offerings. That's what the pause was.
We'll just be here to kind of reflect. Let's reflect on our weekends. Let's reflect on what derailed us.
And set.
And then just like reset. Let's reset for the week, and let's focus on going forward into what our goals are for the week. Just take tiny little bites of those goals and just do them for the week.
That's great. And lots of people are saying new challenge, new chapter. And Susan's saying, we're so lucky to have you full time now. Yes.
Thank you.
I cannot feel happier about this. Oh, Justine, that's so sweet. You will emerge from this sudden cocoon, a beautiful butterfly ready to fly in a new direction. Lots of love. That's a really good one. And Lisa says, you and me both, Kathy, I don't do well in the corporate world. And some of us don't. Some of us do, and yay. Yeah. Angela's here.
Hey, Angela.
Welcome. We're very excited, and some things we're going to be doing with Angela in the future.
Did you see JJ's comment?
Which one?
Right above.
Oh.
Up.
Oh.
We're going to make a dress code.
So JJ says, Kathy and Cheryl, I say you make a firm rule. The dress code for your company is Halloween clothes only. I don't know that we even have to make that a rule.
Yeah,
it'll happen so often.
That's mostly what we have. So.
But yeah, I think, and don't forget too, because we are going to be going to Salem and Sleepy Hollow next month. So part of that is for the movement group and the heartbeat. So if you're new here and you haven't really joined the heartbeat group, if you look below, that's the free, and that below, I mean, there's like a thing you click on and then a whole bunch of stuff comes out. You can join the mailing list, get some free spice blends if you're new. Join the heartbeat group. There's a free monthly movement goal that we do, and we do a Zoom call.
Mm-hmm. That Zoom call is going to be next week for the October Zoom call.
And for the movement and the Zoom, you guys are all going to walk to Salem with us from our house. Obviously, we're not really walking from our house. I'd like to.
And then we're going to take some video and stuff around Salem and show you guys and walk around Salem with you.
And last year, it was so cool. So even if we don't have, if we have signal, great. If we don't have signal, we'll take videos and put them up for you.
And now I don't have to stay in a hotel and work while you do that.
Yeah, because we weren't sure how we were going to get enough time off. And here we go. Apple's saying, grieving and mourning is an absolute reasonable response to the sudden shock. Don't allow anyone to control or dismiss your emotions, or send them my way and I'll have some words for them.
Thank you, Apple.
Apple, always taking care of us. And some of what I'm doing throughout the day is checking in on how she's feeling that day.
She does ask me several times a day, how are you feeling?
Or how's it going? Where are you in this? And I'm still going to push her a little bit. Like, I'm like pushing her like this. Like I push the dog out of the way, right? And to do something like this, because I think even already from doing this, don't you already feel... You're glad you did it, right?
I am glad I did it.
It's hard sometimes to do.
I need to get these emotions out. I need to get this out. Like I was telling her over the weekend that I disappear downstairs sometimes for 15 or 20 minutes and I just go in a room and I cry. And I just get it out. And then I come back and I'm ready to go, you know. So
It's not easy. It's a process. And like Tanya's saying, I've been worried about my job security too as I'm working from home due to medical issues, but the majority have returned to the office. I'm scared they'll find a reason. And so Cheryl's been worried that they were going to find a reason.
They were closing our office permanently at the end of this year. So, you know, at first I was worried about that, but then I was told, no, you're still going to be doing the stuff that you're doing, kind of thing. And so I don't want to get into all that, but
yeah. So one thing, Angela from Boomer and Beyond Wellness says, Dr. Frank Sabatino told me when I was presented a time of financial crisis to reinvent myself. Cheryl's already been doing this.
I have been, and one of the things is I have some things in my head. I have a little mastermind group of folks that were in the plant-based coaching program with me, and you're going to meet all of them very soon. I want you to get to know each of them because maybe somebody in that group may resonate with you more than I do. And I want you to have that option. And they're wonderful women, and you are all going to love them. And they all have their own stories.
Lisa's in there too with an E.
Yeah. And we have Jennifer Diamond, and then some other folks. And so Jennifer Diamond has a story that she'll come on and she'll be telling you guys. And we all are just kind of reinventing ourselves with this now. And I've had some ideas going in the back of my head. And of course, I was always like, I'm not going to do this until I do this. And I'm not going to do that until I do this.
And then she has me who's like, no, we're going to start now.
And then she's just like, just sit down and do it, right? So I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm going to be working with her. The next 30 days are going to be all about books.
The new book, Potions and Powders, I'm working on it right now. It's in testing. I'm getting ready to do photographs. So it's an odd time for this shift to be happening because I can't really sit down and go, here's how we do things. Because this is one of my 2 crisis months of the year. But
she goes into this mode when she's working on a book, and it's just kind of like there's no extra time for her to do anything, to like train me on anything. So right now it's just kind of like she hands me a list and says, let me show you how to do this. And then it takes her 5 minutes and then she's off doing something else. And then I ask questions and things, but I also have my own stuff that I need to do. I have a website that I need to get up and going.
Well, we'll talk more about that once it's up there.
Yeah.
So Joanne is saying, Cheryl, I've watched you grow and become a part of this website, and it's opened me up to a completely different Cheryl. I'm so happy you're here, and we will have more of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone's support today. I know this has been a little less about let's get motivated, but I
think there's going to be more to this because I'm actually going to leave in 15 minutes, and I suspect you are going to continue on. That is what's in my head. So we'll see.
I don't know how much more I can do.
Well, let's
mentally.
Let's wait and see. You relax. Relax just a minute. You guys are fortunate to have each other, such a strong relationship, so much support, goals. I figure we made it through the pandemic and nobody died.
Yeah, like we should have killed each other at that point.
I was like, do you really have to breathe right now?
Can you breathe downstairs, please?
So I think the pandemic gave us that. And Elle says we will have you on YouTube with us more. That's a really good thing because I love having both of you. And yeah, Nancy's saying once you get through the grief, there's wonderful opportunities. Absolutely. And everybody's just excited to have more time with you. Yeah, and Linda says your former company's loss is our gain.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And there we go. I don't know what I clicked on Linda's face and somebody else's comment popped up, so that was weird. Oh wow, so Angela says I was fired from 6 teaching jobs in 1 week back when I turned 55. One job of 16 years at Crunch Gym via text.
Wow.
Oh, that's hard. Went back to school at 57 and have my own business at 67. That shows them.
Thank you. That's very inspiring because that's kind of how old I am. So
yeah, she's 57 and a half.
57 and a half.
And I am 59 and a half.
Yes.
Maybe close to it. So Debbie says, I think Cheryl has a gift in connecting with people, and now she can use that gift to help others with their health. What's more important than that?
That's true.
Absolutely. Aw, Helene's here. So Helene does the Triangle Veg Fest and other Veg Fests, so make sure you follow her.
Yeah, she does Veg Fest all over the place, so she may do one near you, so definitely follow Veg Fest.
There's going to be one in Asheville, and I think it's October 5th. Helene, if you're still here, put that in there, and if you want to, I don't know if you can put the link or not, but Apple can, because Apple's the moderator, and it's virtualvegfest.com. We're just hearing some other stories, too. CJ says, I'm shocked they can let you go immediately. CJ's from Scotland. Over here, you would get a month's notice plus redundancy. I was laid off once, and it feels horrible.
Yeah.
And I've also seen your growth on this channel over the last 18 months.
And I appreciate you all noticing that I've made such growth because sometimes I let the world get the better of me, and then I feel like, well, what's the point? I always snap out of it pretty quickly, and that's mostly due to all of you. So I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate your support. And now we get to work together. And,
it's true.
And I'm kind of really excited about that in a way that I'm going to get to talk to these people that I don't get to talk to all the time, whenever I want to.
And whenever we end up talking with you guys, or even just hang out with you live in the chat, it's very motivational for us and things. And also Helene, who we went to Disney with recently, said no working for someone else from Disney.
Yeah, Helene knows.
Just for me for Disney.
This past, the past 2 weekends ago when we were or a weekend ago, I guess it was now, that we were in Disney, I had to take time out of our trip for me to sit down and do things for work. And I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning because I had an issue with something at work. And so it made my next day kind of poopy because I was really tired.
And it's not like nothing like that will ever happen here, because when you deal with support, so like when the book goes for sale, then she is inundated with emails.
Yeah. Then my support skills get the shine. So.
And it works out well. Deborah said, and this is really important, it took me a year to realize I don't have to do everything in warp speed. There's always tomorrow. Take time every day for yourself. And that is directed at me. And once the book time is over. So I'm okay with 2 times a year just really not focusing on anything but a project, maybe even 3. But the rest of the time I want to really have some space for me.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Blessing in disguise. Didn't do anything wrong. Oh, Azeria Giant says, got your certification from FRN?
Yes.
And you're doing your program in January? That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. It says we're going to do amazing things together.
And I want to add that when you're doing the program, make sure that you go to those weekly little live meetings where they have breakout rooms and stuff. I missed a lot of that because of my job, and they didn't respect the time that I would put on my calendar to block out things, and they would schedule meetings over stuff. So, make sure you go to those because they're a great source of information and also great for practicing your skills.
Yeah. And Tanya says, Salem, so fun. I need to get my butt over there. Well, if you want to come in October, talk to us and we can meet you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Oh, Mona, thank you. Such a big heart and so many talents. Yes, she's not confident in some of her abilities, but I know what she's good at a lot of things. A lot. Oh, and you're north of Boston. Hope I can meet up with you. So maybe email support at Healthy Slow Cooking, and then
we can maybe meet up in October.
Yeah, because we're definitely going to be in Salem at least a whole full day. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe a day and a half.
I haven't started thinking about that trip because all I can think, my head is full of book. Better out than in. I'm with Shrek on that when it comes to emotions.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And Angela says too, I'm a big believer as an Italian to emote. It's cleansing.
Yeah.
And
finding that it's been very helpful to just get those feelings out. I've always been a person that's kept my feelings in and just let them kind of just like simmer. And I'm always the person that's always like, I'm fine, everything's fine.
Oh, Angela, you did not have to do that. Thank you for the super chat, but you don't have to do that. Thank you.
But I'm learning now from all of you a lot too, that it's good to get those emotions out. It's good.
Well, and it's good to be validated. And that's kind of what I was talking about before. Like, you don't want to look outside yourself for like I'm a good person or a bad person, but it's really great to look out and go, oh, I do this and I do, oh, okay, so we're all in this together. I think is really good.
Yeah. And it's true. I have noticed this weekend that I haven't been feeling very good because I was keeping some stuff in and
Read it with Tanya.
Tanya says at Apple and Angela, exactly, if you repress your feelings, you tend to manifest it physically and get sick. At least I do. And I feel like I do that too. And so, I think taking today and saying, today is a new day, today is a new week. Whatever you did the past 2 days over the weekend, whatever you did, even if you had a rough end of last week, today is the first day that you reset and you start again. And today I am resetting and I'm basically starting my work life all over again.
And isn't it much nicer to do it in your kitchen?
It is. And, part of the problem was always, too, that I've only had, 2 major jobs in my adult life.
She stays.
I stay. The only reason I left the job before this one was because she was like, they're taking advantage of you, and you have skills that you could use somewhere else. And I was able to almost immediately get another position somewhere.
And almost double her salary.
Yeah.
So, because she had been there a long time and hadn't gotten raises and things, which I think happens to a lot of people. So I know other friends of ours who shall remain nameless are doing some of the same thing. And VegFest Asheville is 10-5 and 10-6. We don't know if we're going yet or not, but it depends on how much is done with the book. If the book is done, then we will go. And yes, I think it's vegfestexpos.com.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
All right. And people are saying, Penny's saying, so you'll find this is the best thing that's happened. And that's what I was telling her too. And actually, I put it in the newsletter, and a lot of people responded back with what happened to them when they got laid off. And that was really powerful for her. So thank all of you who kind of are giving your stories now or gave your stories before, because I think that's really
so many
helpful.
people reached out and emailed to me, and it was so helpful to know that I am not the only one that this has happened to, that you know, this is a blessing in disguise. And I'm going to get emotional again, so just sorry. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Now I'm emotional because I'm so happy because all of you are so supportive. So I'm just a big blubbery mess today.
And I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because
I know.
I knew this was going to happen.
This is very hard for me.
I come on when I don't feel good sometimes
know.
because you guys are so awesome. So Lissa says, Cheryl, can I be number one to talk to you? I have some questions for you. So you can email her at support@healthyslowcooking.com. Or if you, I know I'm behind, I'm going to keep scrolling, try and catch up on comments. If you have a question, we'll definitely answer that. We'll look into all the things that we can. Aw, Tanya, you're so sweet. Says I'm smiling and tearing up at the same time. I know this is going to be good for you. We love Cheryl. Of course, everybody loves Cheryl. Who could not love Cheryl? Everybody at work loves Cheryl. Yeah. Oh, and Nancy said, Nancy
has been bored by me on more than one occasion.
Not bored, obviously. So for those of you who don't know Cheryl well, she is a great storyteller, and she is a very good storyteller, and in her own right, once you feel more confident, you're going to be, that's why in a hot minute, I'm going to leave you here and let you finish things up. And Deborah, and I agree with this too, Deborah says you'll be surprised how much your stress level will change for the good. Stress is so harmful to your health physically. So and Elizabeth says, so much good comes from uncomfortableness. And that's so true. I know it sounds cliche, but it is true. It is so true. Yeah. And once you're out, I'm trying to think. I took a manifestation workshop recently, and they were saying, nothing happens in the comfortable part. It happens when you're on the uncomfortable. Yeah. Because even if you're trying to do something really good for yourself, like exercise, you take a daily walk when you haven't been doing that. That's uncomfortable. Your legs might hurt a little bit. If you're trying to eat more vegetables, you might go a little too far and have too much fiber. And, there's all these things that you kind of have to do. Elizabeth, that's so sweet. Is there anything that we as a community can do to help? Like liking, sharing, commenting to help the YouTube channel? That's always really kind.
All of that helps very much.
If you subscribe to the newsletter, when you click on going to the blogs or the YouTube, that helps. We do get some ad revenue from there. It's not huge, but it's definitely a big help. And once I'm going to try and before the end of the week, if I can, have a pre-sales page up for the new book that's going to be Potions and Powders. It's going to be spice blends and sauces, which is something everybody's been asking me for a long time. So
this book has been in the works for probably 2 years.
Maybe more than that.
Maybe
I wanted
more.
to do it in 2017.
You wanted to do it as an traditionally published book, and no one would.
Well, no, it's Miyoko.
Miyoko did hers.
Miyoko was doing hers, and we have the same agent, so it was a conflict of interest, and. So no hard feelings, anyone who hears that at all.
None at all.
And
awesome.
I'd rather be doing it now. Like one of the cool things about the ebooks, you guys can print them out and get them bound, but when a traditionally published book, I make $1 a book.
If that.
So, and that's with all traditional authors pretty much. Also, if you go to Fourth Wall, and I think you might see it down below, if not, I'll come and put it back. We do have some paperbacks of the gluten-free vegan cooking in your Instant Pot, and we do, because I am selling them, make more than $1.
And she will sign it for you.
And I'll sign it for you or whatever.
And I will pack it up.
And we'll mail it off. So you can get those at Fourth Wall. We'll probably do some more t-shirts and things like that too. We would make more money on the books than the t-shirts, but it all counts.
Right.
So thank you, Elizabeth. That was just really kind of you. I am going to go get on my coaching call. So, and I'm going to leave you with Cheryl for the rest of your.
I will wrap things up.
No, here's what I think you should do, and then you do whatever you want. But why not talk about what your goals are for the week and see how you can support other people in their goals for the week, even if it's just a quick wrap up.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, and thank you for being so sweet to us and to Cheryl. I really do appreciate you guys.
Okay, so here I am by myself, which is very nerve-wracking. So yeah, let's talk about, with all these changes, now that you know all the things that are going on with me, let's talk about like what goals have I set for myself this week? Well, the first goal that I have for myself this week is to just give myself some space. Some space to just be me and to do something that is just for me. In fact, a good friend of mine mentioned to me on Saturday when we were talking and I was helping him do something, and he said, dude, you can wake up in the morning and go kayaking if you want to. And I was like, my brain exploded because I can. It's something I've never been able to do because I needed to be on and working by 8 or 8:30, and the place where I go to kayak doesn't even open until 8. And so it's never been an option for me during the week, and then the weekends get busy, and so I don't kayak as much as I would like to, but I love to kayak. I love the upper body workout that I get from that. I love the quiet of the lake that I go on. The lake that I go on does not allow motorized boats at all. So the only thing that can be there are kayaks, paddle boards, sailboats, which there are not many of. And it has to be small sailboats because it's a very small lake. And then people swimming and things. So I'm like, yeah, I can get up tomorrow morning and go, I think I'm going to go kayaking before I get started today. And no one's going to get upset if I do that. And that may be something that I do for myself to just kind of take in the serenity of my surroundings and kind of, as Kathy always calls it, forest bathe, because there's a lot of trails around there and stuff too. So I am going to make sure that every day I take a little time for myself. And then the other goal that I have for this week is to reset and get back to avoiding eating the junk food, because this weekend I kind of went on a junk food fest and it made me not feel good. And I ordered something at the Veg Fest that used to be my absolute most favorite vegan burger. Loved it. During the pandemic, I would pay this woman over $60 to come deliver 2 of her burgers to us. This is how much I used to love that stuff. And so I was so excited to see her there. And so I got my burger and I started eating my burger. And then all of a sudden it was just like, this is too greasy. This is too much oil for me. So I've, over time doing McDougall and things, I have actually changed my taste buds. And so I want to get back into, being very, very mindful of what I'm putting in my mouth, especially this week with all the extra stress. So when we get off here, I'm going to hit the rice cooker right there. I'm going to make myself some brown rice. I am going to make myself some green beans, and I'm going to have lunch of brown rice and green beans. And I am probably going to keep it very simple like that for the rest of the week so I can kind of detox the stress out of my system. And the other thing that I want to make sure that I have a goal of is taking the time to check in with Kathy and see what she needs and not just get absorbed in my own craziness that's going on. I want to make sure that I'm supporting her as well for all the support that she's given me. And this is what I want to do for the next 5 days or so, 7 days, I guess. So if you've ate vegan junk food over the weekend, You haven't blown everything. You haven't like completely ruined your whole plan. You haven't completely gone off the rails. You can reset right now. Right now you can choose for lunch, for dinner, to do better. You can choose that the next meal that you put in your mouth is one that you feel good about. And every day, before you eat, just think, do I feel good about this? How's this going to make my body feel? Am I going to feel cruddy and not be able to go take a walk or anything because now I've ate a bunch of stuff that makes me kind of like feel really icky? You know, let's focus this week on resetting and getting in the habit of staying away from the processed junk food and try to focus more on whatever your perfect meal is. For me, I like to stick to the rice and the vegetables. I might have a potato and vegetables. If you don't follow the McDougall plan, you may have another setup that you like. That is fine, but let's just focus on that for this week and see how we get. And then next Monday, we'll get together and we'll talk about how'd the week go, how did we do, and then we'll set goals for next week. If there are ideas that you guys have that you would like me to focus on these Monday shows, since I'm a little nervous right now about I'm just like, what do I do? You can help focus this Monday check-in. You can help me figure out exactly what you want to do, what would help you the most, and just email me at support@healthyslowcooking.com. That'll go directly to me. It bypasses Kathy. It comes right to me, and I will look those over, and then we'll try to like make this something that works for all of us together. How does that sound? Is everybody good with that? OBS, yes, Simply OBS says, Cheryl is getting full-time really fast. Yes, I am. Kathy was like ready for me to go on Friday, but she did give me the time. And I want to thank you, OBS, and everybody at Doc Rock's program for all the support they gave me this weekend and making me know that I can do this, that I got this. And I just really appreciate that. I appreciate everyone for all the support they're giving me right now. Let's see. All right. Lee wants, let me put this up. Sorry, this is where it's going to be awkward because I'm not used to the smooth back and forth. So Lee says, I want to chat with you about kayaking sometime. I would love that. I'm not by any means like some professional kayaker kind of thing. In fact, I'm kind of a wimp. I went one time with my friend John on the Haw River, and it was a little too rough for me. And I panicked a little bit when I got stuck between some rocks and stuff. So that's kind of a funny story for another time. But I love it. I just love the serenity of it. And I'm happy to talk to you about that. Shoot me an email. All right. Let's see. And Penny also likes kayaking. Let's see. TS, is there a way to get the slow cooker for 2 cookbook, or is it an ebook only? I believe it might be still available on Amazon, but I'm not positive. I'll check into that when we get off of here. All right. And Penny says that her big goal for today is going through the fridge and cleaning it out and getting batch cooking and making sure to have the right food. Being alone, it is hard to get motivated to start. Yes, I understand that. Like, we came back from vacation, and the first thing we did was cleaned out the refrigerator so that we could start fresh. So it's going to be great. You're going to feel so much better once you get that cleaned out, and you'll see all the space that you have to put your little containers of whatever vegetables and rice and potatoes and everything that you want to have to get going. In fact, if you want, you can do that and send me a picture of that, because I would really like to see it. All right, let's see what I'm missing? What I'm missing? Da, 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 da. And TS says, at Penny, TS also understands I am the only one eating this way, and when I try and cook more, I tend to lose my motivation. It's also very hard for me to stay on task. And it is. When you're the only one in the house doing something and you got everybody else doing stuff that you can't do, it's very easy to get yourself into a situation where you're just like, I don't want to make 2 meals. I don't want to cook 2 meals. Maybe one of the things that you could do, like one of the things that we used to do when I was still eating a SAD diet, is Kathy would make her meal and then I would make myself like a chicken breast, because I would never make her cook that for me. And she couldn't cook it for me because she never has cooked meat before, ever. So if she did, she would probably kill me. So I cooked my own. And what we would do is I would eat whatever her meal was as my side dish. That might be a way to kind of help in a family situation where you're the only one. Make your meal and then let them cook their own stuff to go with it. Could be helpful, not. Let's see. And Jennifer says, I hope you can get out there and kayak. I'm so excited for you, Cheryl. You and Kathy have been great support for me. Watching the older videos has been fun to get to know you both. Love you both. Thank you so much. It is so heartwarming for me right now to know that I have so much support before me, because I can tell you Thursday afternoon, I was not doing well at all. Like, not well at all. I was in a really bad place, and, you know, Kathy lifted me up, my coworkers lifted me up, my friends have lifted me up, Doc's group lifted me up, and now you guys are all lifting me up, and I really, really appreciate it. And I do appreciate all the emails that folks have sent me over the weekend as well. All right. Make sure I didn't miss anything. And Raven says, you were so good with the ladybug video. Any chance of getting another non-kitchen product review by me soon? Yes, absolutely. We were actually talking about, Kathy was saying that maybe I should start doing some more product videos, and I'm gonna do that because I kind of liked it. It was fun. I'll probably do some more ladybug videos if you guys want to see those, because I've been using it all over the house and stuff, and so I could do some recordings and just put those up, maybe even little shorts or something. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. All right, Penny is gonna get me some before and after pics. That's awesome. And Ob says, I've been laid off a few times. It's horrible, but her life is so much better. And I'm hoping that's where I'm going with this. Like, I feel very confident. Like, when I woke up today, I was like, I'm going to get this done. I am going to start my new life and my new job right now. And just get out there and just start making myself do the things I need to do to get this out of my system, to get this, I don't want to call it trauma, because it's not really trauma, and it's not fair to say that it's trauma, but it is. I was a little shocked, and so I still have that that tension inside where you're like, okay, yeah, I feel better, and then all of a sudden something happens and you kind of get this little squeeze of like, oh, am I really better? And I keep having those moments up and down, but I am on the mend. I can guarantee you that. Let's see. Penny says, I need a how to clean my Breville oven video. That is something that I could probably do. Ours is needing cleaned right now. It is very, those things, they get, wow. If you don't keep up on it constantly, they get really, really messed up pretty fast. So yeah, we can definitely talk about doing one of those videos. Okay, Elizabeth. Entirely Elizabeth says, Cheryl, do you have vegan recommendations for when the sweet tooth cravings start? What do you do? So what I do is not really the greatest thing on earth to do, but when I have a sweet tooth, if I can't get that sweet tooth to go away with some fruit, I do have an emergency stash of dark chocolate, teeny tiny bites, and I will have one piece of that. Or if we don't have the little teeny tiny bites, I will get some of the baking chips that Kathy keeps for doing desserty things, and I will have probably about 5 or 6 of those little tiny chocolate chips that she uses in some of the Creami creations. It's not the best thing to do, but if it keeps me from going and getting a bag of cookies, if it keeps me from asking her to make me an entire thing of brownies that I am going to sit and devour over a 24-hour period, those little tiny bites save me every time, because I usually have a sweet tooth. But I have found, since I've been doing the McDougall stuff, like I used to have dessert every night. I was a dessert every night person, and it usually had to be something chocolate, and chocolate was the only thing that would satisfy it. But since we have been doing the McDougall thing, and I have been opened up to this world of fruit, it has been amazing. I'll eat like some grapes, because you can get all these amazing grapes, like the cotton candy grapes, the candy drop grapes, all these things that have this really sweet bite to them, and those to me like will really satisfy me, and I don't even go overboard on them. I can just probably usually I get somewhere between 5 and 8 grapes depending on the size, and those take care of me really fast when they're super sweet. And bananas, like bananas to me are so over the top sweet that a banana can take care of a good sweet tooth too. So apples, Kathy makes a great vegan caramel sauce that you could dip apples into. We do so many things, like watermelon. Oh my God, we got this watermelon that's sitting over there that I am just like waiting for us to get into, because watermelon can also be another sweet thing that can really get you going. I mean, fruit. You could ask Kathy, like until probably July of last year, I would run from fruit. The only way I would eat a banana is if it was really yellow. It couldn't be ripe at all. Like it had to be really yellow, and actually more kind of towards the green. Like I can't do them when they start to get brown, kind of like Kathy's like, oh, but that's when they're so sweet. No, I want them when they're just coming off green and they're yellow. That's where I want them. And the only way that I would eat them would be on like a bowl of Cheerios or something like that. I wouldn't just eat a banana by itself. And then she would go through all this stuff when we had that. I don't know if you guys remember when we had that Yo Nana thing. That Yo Nana. It was such a pain to clean. But it produced such great, like creamy stuff. And she would take bananas like and freeze them and then put them in there and just kind of smash that thing down. And I would eat that sometimes, but a lot of times that stuff was too sweet for me. So it was interesting. And now that I'm eating fruit, I just like, I'll try anything now. And I'm really surprised at how much it has helped me. When you're working, we're roaming around the house and you're like, because here sometimes we forget to eat when we should. And then we both get hangry. And one of the things that I've found is to keep myself from getting hangry is if I walk through the kitchen and I'm like, and I look over and I'm like, ooh, I'm hungry, maybe I should eat something. The first thing that I do is grab an apple. If I grab that apple and then walk and sit down, do whatever I was doing and eat that apple, 9 times out of 10, I'm good until dinner time. Like I just need that little snack, that appley snack to just kind of put me over the edge. And I found that it's been really helpful. Let's see what else we got. I hope that helps everyone. Like I said, I'm extremely nervous and I'm probably just rambling on and on, but Let's see. All right, Mary Jean says, would you still buy the Breville if you did not have it? Yes. This Breville is actually like our favorite. We went for a little while, we were using one of the Ninjas because it was smaller and didn't take up as much space, but then it was smaller and it didn't hold as much stuff. So like yesterday, or actually Sunday I think, Kathy was able to dehydrate these mushrooms that she is going to turn into mushroom powder. And the trays are nice and big, and she can get a lot on here. And we bought some extra trays, and she can put 3 trays of stuff to dehydrate at a time, and that's been very, very helpful. And then we don't have to bust out, you know, the big actual dehydrator and have that going as well. We can just do these. Now we do use the extra hydrator when she's doing peppers. We will put that outside on the porch and do them out there because they irritate my eyes when she's dehydrating those. But yeah, it's great, makes good toast, you know, things like that. It's great for just popping in something and heating it up really quick, you know. Corn. If you have not done corn in a Breville, you need to do corn in the Breville. Because I'll put the corn in there on air fry for about 10 minutes. Sometimes a little longer, depends, but usually it's 10 minutes. It gets this, it caramelizes it, like it gets this nice, almost like you put it over a grill. So amazing. I love it that way. Oh, thank you, CJ, for saying I'm doing a great job because I am extremely nervous right now. Oh, this, and Monique also has risk aversion. Yep, yeah, that's been the story of my whole life. I've never been a risky person. Even as a kid, I was that kid that like was kind of the ringleader and kind of would like get people like together and doing stuff. But then, soon as it looked like it was starting to go south or it was going into a direction that might get bad, that I could possibly get in trouble for, I disappeared. I'd be back home, at home, getting my pajamas on while everybody else was getting in trouble because I just kind of snuck out while all the chaos was starting to begin. I never wanted to take the risk of getting in trouble. I was kind of a really good kid, surprisingly. There were a few things I did that were stupid, but I was a kid. All right. Elizabeth says, I need to look into the McDougall stuff. That autoimmune disease is real bad right now, and I have to cut out sugar for the most part. It's been hard. The McDougall stuff, Elizabeth, has been a lifesaver for me. Since 2019, I've lost 87 pounds. And I would say about 45 of that has been since I did the McDougall thing. I still have a long way to go, but I really feel like it gives me this nice base of clean eating. And we do that, and I'm sure if you've heard Kathy and I talk about, we do it 90 to 95%, which means we eat clean, we stick to McDougall. During the week, we eat all our meals as clean as possible, and we avoid all oil. And then we may go out on the weekend, we may go to a bowl place, or we may go to Ethiopian food, and someplace where we're going to get a little oil, and we're okay with that, but we do not have it every meal. We limit it so that it doesn't like derail our progress of where we're trying to get to. So, and the less you have the oil and the less you eat the oil, when you do have something that's really oily, you're going to really taste it and really notice. It's going to be up on that roof of your mouth, and you're going to be like, ew, what's that taste? And then you're going to oh, it's oil. And for me, it triggers me to just avoid that altogether whenever I can. So we have certain places that we stick to that we know have little oil, and that the food is primarily clean and healthy. So, and that's how we do our 90 to 95%. Let's see. You keep mentioning how your wife, coworkers, friends have been helping you get through this. I hope you realize they're doing this out of love and respect for you. And I do. And this morning, it was a hard morning because, Monday mornings are one of my busiest days of the week when I was at work. And so when I got up this morning, I felt, I don't want to say useless, but just kind of like not knowing what to do at first. I just was laying in bed, and I wake up, I roll over, I put my glasses on, and the first thing I do is start going through work emails, start seeing what I need to do, what I need to help people with, what's going on with the bill, all these things. And I didn't have that today. And it felt like some of my self-worth was gone, is kind of what it felt like initially. And then we were like, let's go take a walk. And then we went and took a walk. We took Max, and it started raining on us a little bit, and we just kept going because it wasn't really hard, and it was helping me to walk, get out there, and just move. And my brain started clearing out. And then when I got home, I actually had a message from another coworker that was so sweet, and I realized, there was something that she said in that text about me being the glue that held everyone together. And it touched me. It touched me so much. And that's when I was like, I have done that for those people that they feel that way about me. And I have so much more to give that I can't give them now. I want to give it to you. And that's when I was like, I'm going to do this. And Kathy was like, do you want to do a live today? And I was like, I don't know. But then I was like, you know what? Yes, let's do it, because I need to be, I'm a customer service person. I need to be giving something to somebody. And that's what makes me happy. And I really need to do that. And I appreciate you asking about that, Deborah. Now I have this chance to have my own business here where it can be all about people. And I really appreciate having that chance now. Hi, buddy. This is Fergus, if you don't know. He is our little stray baby who kept coming around. He came around for months and months and months. And then finally, he decided he wanted us. He got on Kathy's lap on the patio and was snuggling with her. And then he came around to the front of the house when I was coming in and was like, let me in. And I was like, well, you can't come in yet because, we got to find out if you belong to somebody. So we did all the stuff to find out. And he didn't belong to anybody. So now he has a family. And he has a puppy that he likes to beat up on. But poor Max is terrified of him. I don't know how he can be terrified of this little bundle of joy. But he's upset because it's raining and he can't sit out on the porch now. I think I'm going to have to build a little roof for him or a little screened-in porch for him so he can be out in the rain. Let's see. Thanks, Obs. I know it'll get better, and I am going to keep going, and I'm going to keep doing everything I can. All right. Lisa, let's see what you got, Lisa. True confession. I also need help with the Breville. I got mine from Santa Claus and have yet to use it. Oh my goodness, you've got to use it. It is so wonderful. You can do so much with it. It is great. We're going to have to get you a video so you can get that thing out of the box. Really. Even if you just make a piece of toast in it, you're going to love it. Okay, buddy, you can't. Sorry, guys. Cat's trying to click my hand. Thank you, everybody that's saying that I'm doing amazing, because I am nervous. Yeah, the deep cleaning, Penny is saying she's had hers and has not really done a deep cleaning on it. If you wait too long, it can be hard. We've done that. And, then you have to have some patience with it. And, I have spent probably an hour just meticulously scraping little things off of that tray, trying to make it look better. And true confession, one time we just ordered a new tray because I was like, I am not trying to get this mess off there. So we just ordered a new tray. It was probably a dumb, expensive move, but I try to do better with this new tray now, but it needs a deep clean as well. Thank you, Apple. I appreciate you always, everything that you do for us, and I do consider you a true friend, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Monique is asking, do I peel the corn before I cook it in the air fryer? Yes. I take everything off, and I just set the corn right on one of these racks in there and put it on air fryer for 10 minutes. And like I said, it just, and then when it comes out, and you can do it when it goes in too, but if you're trying to avoid salt, which we try to avoid any additional salt stuff, we don't put it in anything when we're cooking. I might use just a little bit on some things, but not much. Instead of putting salt, you know how people in the South especially put salt on everything, watermelon, corn, we just salt it all up, and they put butter and salt and everything. What you can do is get a lime, and when that corn comes out of the air fryer, it's got kind of that caramely thing kind of going on with it. Take a lime and rub a lime all over it, and it will trick your taste buds into thinking you've got something salty on there. And it's delicious. It's so good. And also, I'm a kind of a big, I like street corn type things, like dishes. So it almost kind of gives you a little street corny kind of feel too. Hi, buddy. You're being awful sweet today. I think he's about done with me being online. Thank you for the weight loss. Got a way to go, but I'm going to get there. And now I don't have the stress of work and all the excuses of work of me not being able to just go hit the treadmill or go hit the bike or whatever because I've got meetings or stuff that I can't do anything in. That was another thing that my company didn't like it when you were in a meeting, you were supposed to be in the meeting and focused on the meeting, and so they didn't really like people on treadmills, they didn't really like people on bikes, they didn't really like people eating in a meeting. So if you were eating or something like that, they had you keep your camera off. But then at the same time, they didn't want you to keep your camera off. They wanted everybody to see your lovely face. So now I have the opportunity to just hit the treadmill, hit the bike, do whatever I want during the day. It's going to be different. All right, let's see what else. Mary Jean says the sun just came out and I have to get to the garden and do some much needed weeding. Thanks for allowing us to share with you on this special day, New Beginning Day. And it is New Beginning Day, and thank you all for helping me, drive that home into my brain that this is a new beginning and it's going to be awesome. And Joanne says, there's no reason to be nervous. We've been loving you for a long time. I'm so happy that you're out in front lines with us. I'm so happy that I've been privileged to spend time with you. Thank you, Joanne. I really appreciate that. Elizabeth, this is Fergus. Fergus. And he is a sweetie. He is definitely a sweetie. He gets babied. He gets whatever he wants, actually. And he is kind of flirting. He is one of those cats that he senses when you need a little extra. And so he even, like, the dog and the cat, they have this whole thing where they have areas that they share and areas that they don't. And typically, he can only be on his cat tree in the living room because Max is like, the living room is my territory, the couch between the mommies is my territory, you are not allowed here, and he will chase him out. But yesterday, Max was sleeping on the couch between us, and Fergus came across the back of the couch, came down on this side of me on the arm of the couch, and then laid across me, not even caring what the dog thought. because he knew I needed him, and it was awesome. So I couldn't ask for better pets. And Max was real cozy last night with me too. I think they sensed that. All right. Let's see. Georgia's asking for a link to where she can buy some of Kathy's books. So the only book that we have right now is the vegan slow cooker, the gluten-free vegan slow cooker book. I'm just trying to see if I have that on the, yeah, here it is. This is the book that we currently have a lot of here in stock, and that we can send out. And to buy this book, you can go to Fourth Wall. So if you click underneath where this video is playing, and then there's some more, and then there's a bunch of information in the description, and there's a bunch of links. Look for one that says Fourth Wall, and you can get this book on Fourth Wall, and then Kathy can sign it for you, and then we'll ship it out to your house. But it's in the show notes, I guess is what they call those. See, I'm learning new words and everything. All right. Oh, awesome. Lissa squeezed corn on, or lime on her corn too. Yeah, it is fantastic. I love it. Yep, and TS is saying, my mom was from the South and salt went on everything. I didn't know this was a thing. Salt went on tomatoes, avocados, watermelon, and she would soak the rinds in sugar water. Oh yeah. Salt goes on everything. I still have a hard time eating the watermelon without salt on it because it is just so ingrained in me that you have watermelon and you put salt on it. That one is still hard to, it just changes the flavor to something I can't even explain. Like it just, if you don't have a salt problem and you can have some salt, get yourself some watermelon and just sprinkle a little salt on a piece of watermelon before you eat it. And it's just like, it changes the flavor. I can't explain it. And it's just something that we've done here in the South for, I mean, as long as I remember. I used to go south and stay at my great-grandmother's and stuff, and I had an uncle, and he used to bring a big watermelon over to the house. He'd get it out of the back of the truck. It was something that he grew himself on his land. He would back his truck up and take the watermelon out and then walk around to the front, and most of the time they were brand new trucks. And he would flop that thing on the front hood of his truck and start cutting it right on the hood of his truck. And it always used to just, like, I'd always be like, why are you cutting that on your truck? But that was just his thing. He cut it on his truck, and then all the kids would come running around. He'd hand us all off a piece as he was cutting it on his truck. He was fun. All right. Lori says, I found a walking buddy this week. Looking forward to 5 straight days of walking. My goal for this week. That's excellent. I also want to walk every day this week, so I am looking for that too. And yes, Obs, definitely. Animals know when we need love, for sure. Let's see. Monique has the book that I showed, the gluten-free vegan cooking in your Instant Pot. I wish I could find the Outrageous Oatmeals. Now, the Outrageous Oatmeals, I believe it's out of print. We do not have any more copies of it. Those all got sold out last year of what we had. But I think that you still might be able to get it as an ebook in some places, like on Amazon. And you might also check to see if, like, in Amazon warehouse or wherever where they have, like, the used books, see if you can get that there. Apple just posted Thrifty Books, so I think you can probably pick up something like that on the used books. Oh, I have never tried lime on the watermelon, Lissa. That sounds excellent, and I will have to do that. Well, I've kept you guys long enough. Thank you for helping me get through this major change in my life. I know that it's only going to get better. I know that us working together is only going to get better. I hope that you will send me some ideas of what you would like to see on our Monday our Monday check-ins, and I can see how we can work that in. For a while, this may be kind of loosey-goosey like it was today, but we will eventually get some kind of a pattern or something down so that everybody knows what to expect. But this was my first time. Here I am. I am here. I am now yours full-time. So I hope that everyone has a great day, a great week. Shoot me an email if you need a little encouragement or anything like that. I'll probably pop on in the middle of the week sometime as well, just to check in with everybody and see are those walking goals going good, are the eating clean goals going good, and just see where we are. And look forward to talking with everyone soon. So everyone have a great day, and I'll